Today's editing technology is incredible. We can now do things with software that we couldn't have even imagined just a few short years ago. One of the ways many editing systems have really picked up some power is in their ability to create and animate text. Whether you are a video editor using Adobe Premiere, Avid, or Apple's Final Cut Pro, or just about any other editing application, or a motion graphics designer using Adobe After Effects or Apple's Motion, you probably have the power to move text around on the screen. But just because you can, doesn't mean you should. Text is used in many different ways in television production. Sometimes to reinforce a message, sometimes to highlight a thought or an idea. Sometimes text is used as a design element and isn't even meant to be readable. A sure sign of a seasoned video professional is knowing when and how to use text, especially if it's moving. And that's what I'd like to share some thoughts on in this episode. So sit back, relax, and take 5 as we explore 5 tips for making sure your messages make sense. Tip number 1, keep it slow and steady. Too much motion can kill the mood. One of the most common mistakes when animating text is moving the words too fast for the viewer to read. The fix? Slow it down. If your text needs to be read by the viewer, take the time to make sure you can read it. Then ask someone else who's not so close to the project if it's readable. Slower moving text often feels more professional. If you have text with multiple lines, try moving the top line slowly from right to left, while moving the lower line slowly in the opposite direction. Overlapping the text a little or making one of the lines move very slightly slower than the other are techniques the pros use to create a very polished and high-end look. Tip number 2, easy does it. Just say no to jerky movements. Unless you're editing for MTV or the X Games on ESPN, typically you want text to start and stop as smoothly as possible. Starting or stopping text with an abrupt or jerky motion just doesn't look or feel natural. Many editing applications and almost all motion graphics apps like Adobe After Effects or Apple's Motion have an ease in or ease out or smoothing option. Text that smoothly accelerates from a starting point and slowly decelerates to a stopping point looks much more natural and professional. Tip number 3, pay attention to the project's personality. Make sure to match the font to the feel. Every project has a unique personality. An extreme sports program might have a scattered, high-energy, random feel to it. A title graphic for a wedding video is more likely to have an elegant, graceful, more refined personality. Well, each font and text animation you create also have unique personalities. It's very important that these two personalities do not clash. This means make sure not to choose a font that doesn't make sense with the kind of text animation you have planned. And likewise, don't use a text animation style that doesn't fit the personality of your project. For example, in most cases, creating a random jump cut style text animation with a wispy cursive style font just doesn't work. For your look to work, the personality of your project, the personality of the font, and the personality of the movement you create all must work together to create a natural feel. Tip number 4, size does matter. Don't go too big or too small. You've probably heard the saying, all things in moderation. Well, the size of your animating text should certainly fall into this category. Text that is too big overpowers the screen and just doesn't look right when you try to make it move. Your text needs some elbow room to move around the screen. And if the text is too big, it just doesn't feel right. On the contrary, if the text is too small, not only will the viewer not be able to read it, they'll probably miss any of your other messages while they're trying to read it. The size of your animating text should complement the rest of your composition, not overpower it or get lost in it. Watch the pros on this one. Take cues from how the networks you watch place animating text within a composition. Notice the size of the moving words in relation to other logos or graphics in the frame. Tip number 5, keep it simple. Avoid crazy animations. As you should practice the rule of moderation when choosing a text size, you should also use discretion when moving text from here to there. Just because your editing or motion design application will let you do crazy bursts, pulls, pushes, wipes, spins, and 50 other crazy movements, that doesn't mean you should use them all. Oftentimes, the coolest, most professional-looking animating elements are clean and simple. I hope these simple do's and don'ts help you next time you sit down to move some of your words across the screen. Before we go, let's recap the 5 tips for making sure your moving messages make sense. Tip number 1, keep it slow and steady. Tip number 2, easy does it. Tip number 3, pay attention to the project's personality. Tip number 4, size does matter. Tip number 5, keep it simple. Stick to these simple tips when moving messages around on your next masterpiece, and you'll be making magic just like the masters and maestros at the major networks. Until next time, don't forget to balance work and play, and every once in a while, stop and take 5.